everybody! I hope you've had a good day so far. Hi, Robert, Uma, my sister Storm, who was just on earlier, Rob, Penny. How's everybody doing? Yes, Vladir, thank you so much. Don't forget to post your challenge works on the Discord to get feedback. Yes, I know where the Discord is. I found it now. So if you do stick your challenges in there, or if you need a little bit of help, please at Pixie Pew. I'll be there to help you. But I hope you're all doing wonderfully today. Now, we don't have that much time, so we're gonna hop into it. But please ask any questions you have in the chat and I will try to answer them. But with my sister earlier, you are still here, Nana. I see you. Hi, Daisy. Hi, Saya. And on YouTube, 16, I'd love to learn animation. You're in the right place. So, with my sister, you just made a bento box with some food in it. With me, we're going to learn the steps on how to make an animated bento box that bounces your food around and uses the masks that Storm actually made earlier. Now, if you do want to use what Storm created, please check the chat below. Cody Bear has the link. My files are actually my sister's files. We don't really make any pre-files beforehand. All of our files are really from her ones. So this is a useful marriage between Illustrator and After Effects for you. So I'll let you lot get your stuff ready. You ready, Saya? I love it. The hands up like, yes, I'm ready. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Okay, so I've broken this down into about 6 steps. This is interesting, mind blown. Well, guess what, Mendwa? It's a lot simpler than it looks. So let me hop over to the workstation. If you haven't done this before, make sure your After Effects is open. Thank you, Clever Devlin. Double click on the side and select the work you're working on. Mine is day 2 for me, but it's whatever you currently have. I'm going to do import. My sister told me, make sure that it's on composition and layer size. Layer size means that if anything is cut off, it can still see it. If you do document size, if the Illustrator file is slightly off the screen and you try to pull it back in, you won't be able to see what's behind that. So layer size is what we're after. Robert said, I was thinking of how you'd be able to do some ants carry away the sushi. Oh my gosh, you totally could. That's awesomeness of the challenge crossovers. I'm loving all this. Oh, thank you. That's amazing feedback. Thank you so much. So we've got our day 2 or whatever you've called your file in there. We're just going to double tap it. Now, if you're using the same file that my sister made you earlier, you've got the masks on the top, which is great. The first thing we're going to do is merge everything together. Well, we're going to parent everything together. Thank you very much, Cody, for looking after us. So select every single file you have. And I'm going to turn this so you can only see one of the parent tools. We're going to make all of these the children of the bento box. So I've clicked and dragged the pick whip, dragged it to Storm's bento. And now, if I move Storm's bento with the position, that's P for position. If we moved it now, everything moves. That's exactly what we want. Joshua said, how are my favorite Adobe people doing? I hope we're included in that. How are you? That's exactly what we want. I'm probably going to color code these. The main challenge is mainly going to be you lot taking the bits that you learn from here and doing the whole thing yourself. I am totally color coding bits and pieces of this. You love the FX? Thank you. Children of the bento box. Oh, General, tell us when the book comes out. Can we get royalties? Okay, background. We do need this background. We don't need the reference. We don't need layer 1. Now it's all nice, clean and clear. Step 1 was just to merge everything to the bento box. Step 2 is to make the bento box bounce. If we move the anchor, we don't have to, but I'm going to. You can either select the anchor tool at the top or press Y for anchor. I know they're not the same letters, it's just what it is. Let us click and drag it down just a little bit. And we're in our position. We're going to animate now. Sam, my baby. Hi, Sam. Let's click the stopwatch. We're happy for its earlier starting position. I'm just going to drag this down so we can see a tiny bit more. Gonna move the timeline a little bit. We're gonna chuck it straight up in the air. Maybe move it over a little bit. And I want it to come back down. Easiest way to do that is to select your first keyframe. Saya said, I love the fact you see the object while passing the mouse over the title. Missed that in Photoshop? Wait, oh, do you mean like, there's a way to do that. I think in the very top left, you got to have show controls on. Copy your first keyframe and paste. So if we were to play this, it goes up and straight down. That's kind of boring. So we're going to paste again. And we're going to take this file, that's the keyframe of it going down the first time. And we're just going to make it overshoot a little bit. So let's drag it down a bit. So now if we were to play, it goes up and smacks down. Fantismo. Wait, that's the only thing to add some strong wasabi? So you want the bento box to run away? See, this is why I like being surrounded by creatives. Okie doke. It does what I want it to do, but it's boring. So what we're going to do is go to the graph editor. If you've seen any of my streams before, you know this is where I live. We don't need to necessarily separate it, but I'm gonna right-click position and go to separate dimensions. Here we go. We don't really do anything with the X because X goes left and right and we're not shaking the bento box like that. So let's turn off the stopwatch there, focus on the Y. If we go and use our break tangent, that's ease in and ease out, pick the direction that you're trying to move the handle of. So for me, I want the left side and the right side. If we take a look at this, we can see that it makes it move slower. For my people from the Animating 101 class, remember, the longer a bit is, the slower it moves. And if it's really short, the closer it is, it's fast. The longer it is, it's slow. So that goes with this as well. It might look kind of different. How can you tell if it's long or if it's short? Well, if we break this tangent here, as soon as it starts going to the opposite keyframe, that indicates how long the line is. So really, this position only has this section. That's kind of short. So whatever's happening here is going to move a lot faster than what's happening in all of this bit. Graph editor. I love the graph editor. It's everything. I didn't used to in the beginning. Just a heads up. Let me know. What a guan. So I do want it to kind of jump up straight away. And I want it to hang for a bit. Hi, Alessandra. Happy Tuesday, lovely. Hope you're ready to get your challenge on. I'm just going to drag this over a little bit. This is going to make it stay in the air for longer. There we go. Nice. And I want it to boop a little bit more. So I'm going to break my tangent to the right. Maybe don't have it be so dramatic and allow it to smooth itself down. Ooh, that's a nice. Perfect. Now that we've got this together, we can hide the mask. We're going to use that later, but not quite yet. So in order for us to make this loop, we're just going to copy the last keyframe, hold it or paste it. In between, it's not going to move. So determine how long you want it to wait before it moves. Then copy all of your keyframes. And you can paste on the last one because they're in the same location. Cody said, I love this upbeat music. It is, isn't it? We're working out our fingers. And on, and two, and up, and down, and curl, and curl. Keep the carpal tunnel away. Finally able to drop in for a minute. Hey, Bliss. So now, if we press play, we've got a bump. Vlad just said, just a heads up, if you don't separate the position dimensions, you won't be able to play with the Bezier handles in the value graph. You need to change the speed graph for this flexibility. That is right. That is absolutely right. Thank you for that. Let me do it one more time. So let's say we've got 3 jumps. Cool. When you're happy with where your loop is, move your indicator. Take a look underneath render queue, copy your number, right click your composition and paste in the duration. So now if we were to press play, it goes where we want it to go. Hey. Oh, this music is good, isn't it? Sam said I've been away too long. I feel like you're trying to talk Arabic to me. There's all those Space Nations. Well, Sam, it's okay. We'll get you back into it. We'll get you back in. Let me make sure my phone's not doing some craziness. I hope you didn't hear the buzzing. All right, so step 1 was to connect everything. Step 2 was to animate the bento. The next part is to change the mask's color. I missed y'all so much. We missed you too. We've got one background here. I want one for every time it jumps, but I think I only have it jump twice before the loop. So we've got this one. Let us go ahead, click on the background, checking to see if I can find a hidden character. It's not my Animating 101 class. You won't necessarily see Mr. Keyframe or Miss Bezier, but technically they're there. Like, you know when you do a keyframe? Mr. Keyframe. Technically Mr. Keyframe. Is the cursor a slice of pie? Maybe. Oh, right. So I've just opened libraries. My sister and I are using a certain color code. So I've actually got a color code that I can go between. I'm just going to make a new background. I'm going to pull it on top of the other background, and I'm going to select a new color. So how about we make this one the white one? Yesterday was full of pie. Technically, they're always with us. That's right. She did design it that way on purpose. All right. So now we've got both of the shapes. How do we make them change color? Well, I want them to change color when the bento drops down. So it drops down here. So what we're going to do is put a ellipse tool. Make sure your second background is on. Welcome, Drebin. Make sure your second background layer is selected. I'm not going to name it for speed. And you're going to make sure you've got the circle tool or the ellipse tool selected. And we were going to do it this way, but you want something else from me, huh? Ooh. Don't you like it when it does something unpredictable? All right, hold on. Let's try that again. If it doesn't work this way, there's another way to do it. So we've got our shape. We're just going to check that this works right now. Ellipse tool. It wants to do it another way. That's totally fine. You know how you practice it beforehand and it's like, cool, I want to do this. So what I'm going to do instead is make another shape on top. It's going to be my circle. Doesn't really matter what color it is because it's going to be invisible. I'm holding Shift and Alt to make sure it goes where I want it to go. And we are going to select our white background, click the toggle switch, use the middle pick whip to select to it. And now, if we go to the ellipse and we move the size will change how we want it to. So I'm going to keyframe the size, and on this keyframe, I'm going to make it go full. And just before, let's put it to 0. Let's find the right timing. That's too soon. Let's move our keyframes over till it... There we go. That's more like it. Boop. Ah, ta-da! Sometimes the programs get nervous being on live stream. I know, but they know everybody loves them. I've just right-clicked and picked Easy Ease. That's going to make it move slowly out. So now, when it drops, I don't think I like that. I think I like this more. Now when it drops, it's going to change the shape and the color for me, which is perfect. If we want, we can do that one more time. About here. So if you remember, we went up, made sure that we're not selecting anything. Pick a color, any color. There we go. Maybe tomorrow someone will eat the rest of the pie. Wait, the pie! Let's pink for this one. We open Storm's Bento Box. To see the keyframes, all you have to do is press U on your keyboard. That will let you know where things are, and it can help you time your stuff better. All I'm going to do is duplicate the shape 1 layer, because there's no need to do it again if we've already done it. And I'm just going to move it over a little bit and then connect this one to it. There we go. So now we've got it going through and changing colors. And that would be exactly the same for the first one, which will make it look like it's looped. So let's grab our background, pull it to the top, duplicate the thing that does the circular mask for us. Sam said, I still do have Wi-Fi, which I've been gone for so long. Haven't touched your PC. You know what? I've seen you streaming a little bit and it's been really nice seeing you back on when you can. Let's connect this back together. There we go. Okay. Not bad. So we've got it looping through. It changes colors to make this a lot cleaner and clearer for me. I'm going to grab everything and put it into one comp. This is looking so cute. Oh, wait till we get further. Hey. I love the color palette. Thank you, Cody Bear. I think we were on the Adobe stock site and we were looking for like themed libraries, which is also an important point actually. I'm just calling this S just so I know what it is. I'm just going to lock it because when you're working with somebody else like me and my sister are, Sunstorm Productions, she's Storm, I'm Raye. You're able to actually share your stuff, your images and your links, which is actually something that I learned from James Bonanno that I hosted a little while ago. Amazing. So do you remember how I like to work smarter and not harder? We've got the bump right here. What we're going to do is copy that position. The Adobe color site. Thank you, sis. Adobe color site. I'm going to press V. That gives me my move tool back. And before I begin, I'm just going to move the anchor down on everything. I might not show you all of these being done, but you'll get the gist. Always move the anchor to where you want the seat to be. Adobe color, says Penny. And Adobe color, says Storm. Everybody knows apparently, but for me, I try. Okay, so we've copied our position. And yes, if we paste this position, it is absolutely going to drag this down. If you don't know what I mean, let us open it, paste. It only said that because the position is actually toggled. Because we pasted it, it's pushed it all the way down there. There is a solution for this, which is actually very, very good for speed flow. We've talked about nulls before. Let's talk about nulls again. Right click in an empty space, new, and select null. Call it what you want, but something that can help you remember. Move null is what I'm going to call this one for now. You're going to duplicate this all the time. I'm going to claim that its anchor point is here. And I'm going to give it this movement. Whoops, once we make sure the position is split. There we go. Once we make sure everything is split. Yes, it does absolutely still move it down below, but there is a fix for this. Since we've got our mover null on here, go to your graph editor and we're going to select the whole thing. We're going to start to drag and pull it up. We're going to pull it up to the bottom of our sushi. So now if we connect, I'm going to click the toggle switch so we're grabbing the right parent tool. Thank you very much, Cody. Check the chat for the Adobe color create color site down below. If we make sure the cucumber is the child of this null, so we're going to use the pick whip, carry it to the null. When we press play, it's going to move it. I know it didn't look like it did, but it did, trust me. I'm going to move this null over a little bit to make it look like it's reacting to the bento being moved. Cool. So we pretty much did everything without doing anything at all. Love it. So the smartest thing to do would be to grab everything, copy and paste. Gotta work smarter, not harder. Such an amazing tip with the null. Thank you, Blend. All right, so now we've done one. We can move it over to 1.6 said, does this work with Premiere Rush on mobile? Ooh, Premiere Rush does seem to be closer to Premiere Pro. Is there a After Effects? Is there an After Effects? Oh, I pasted everything. Hold on, let me just do it manually because it actually worked where it was. Is there a, does anyone know if there's like an After Effects version from Adobe on the devices? That's a great question. Here we go. Now if we move this over, here we are. Also, I loved your new nickname. I'm so sorry for that. Oh, you know what? Look at me. I did undid a few times, so now it wasn't moving. There we go. Okay, cool. We've got it moving. We're gonna do maybe one more. So that's duplicate. You'll go back in. Let's say we want to do this cucumber in front. Make sure you're selecting the right one to make it easier for yourself. Lock down anything you don't need to be using. And we're going to move the X over a little bit. Go into the graph editor on the Y. Select everything, including this one that I can't see back there. Move it down into place. I'm just going to copy and paste a new one. There we go. And make sure your new cucumber is selected with your new mover null. You think you like Vlad more than Vladare? Okay, I'm so sorry. I'm just going to move it a little bit. And now it looks like they're toggling. Now, since the challenge is for you to do the other bits, I'm going to show you how to make sure your sushi stays inside the mask. Oh, before I forget, let's make sure the null is also connected to the bento. Otherwise, it's not moving with the bento at all. There we go. There we go. Okay. So it's there, but it's definitely clipping out. So our last thing is to find out how to stop it from clipping. Okay, so let's grab, these two are both in the upper selection. If you do any in the other selections, once you've made sure they change shape and different food and all that. Hi, Danish. We're going to select everything in that top bit, give it a comp name. Doesn't matter what you call it, as long as it's all in a group. Make sure this comp is also following the bento, otherwise you'll have a problem. And you're going to open your mask. This is the mask that we're using, but without the suffix. I know. Oh my gosh. Wait, I have to read this in a second. I want to make sure we can get this down. To make sure that the mask works, you're first going to right click your mask, especially if it's Illustrator. Right click it, go to create shapes from vector layer. Now, I want you to make sure your toggle switch is open. Select your middle pick whip. Select it to be on the mask. Great, but it's locked in. What do we do? Oh no, don't worry. I have spent a few minutes tolling over how to fix this. Once you've clicked create shape, go to the pen tool. You have a question? Please let me have it, Danish. If I can help you, I will. Once you've clicked the pen tool, you're able to, oh, there you go. Open it, free it from its confines. So now, it looks like it's not locked at the top, but it is locked at the bottom. So even if it goes under it, it's inside the mask. And because we've pulled it up on the edges, it can go higher without getting blocked by the mask. So that is how you can change the colors, make the bento and all the stuff bounce in a really, really fast manner, and also make sure the mask actually allows the food to leave the box, but also stay hidden inside the box. Hello? What PC do I have? Ooh. It's funny, I did make my PC. Am I allowed to say? I don't know. Might have to come back next time. Just so I can find out if I'm allowed to say first. Wait, what's Tyro de Hakiro? RB, talk to me. I get the exact same vibes, Bliss. It adds so much new visuals and interest to your name and story. You're gonna like make a little storybook of all the things that we call you. Lovingly call you. Just above, if you're on the Behance channel, you can actually register for this creative challenge. We covered quite a few different things in here. I do hope you enjoyed this quick little tidbit of how to make your own bento box, your own bouncy little bento box like we did before. Hold on, I think I can actually show you the one that I finished for We Go, which is bento. There we go. So once you have all that done, you'll be able to have a full bento box that changes color, that has different food in it. I pretty much did the exact same thing. Just drag from the project window your new piece of food, put it in the right spot, use your null, make sure the null moves to where you want it to move, and then it's golden. If you have any questions, do let me know. Otherwise, thank you so much for having me. This was a lot of fun, and I cannot wait to see your versions and your examples of your bento box. Bouncy bento, oh, so bouncy, so delicious. Hungry, but the good hungry. Thank you so much for being with me again. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday. I'll be back with you again for another challenge on Wednesday after my big sister's stream at 5:30 GMT for hers, 6 p.m. GMT for mine. I'll see you all later. Bye, Danish. Bye, Patrick. Bye, Vlad. Thank you, so cool, Patrick. I can't wait to see what you do. Oh, thank you, Susan. Susan said, love it. Thank you, Saya. Mwah. General, see you a lot later.